chapter chair of Women in Music South Africa. And, it's quite important when we get these platforms and we invited to these kind of events to sort of, ask for support from the people that are there, and also just to highlight, in terms of like the work that we do, and for you guys to also have a proper understanding of who we are and how you can get involved if you want to. Because, we always believe that the more people are involved, especially people that are in the music and arts industries, it can only make us stronger. So basically we formed in 2020 on Women's Day, and it was literally like, I think about 6-7 ladies that sort of like got together during COVID, and we're just like, okay, since the world is about to come to an end, how do we get together to make a change, right, before we die? No, I'm kidding. But I guess it just happened, it was just good timing. Since a lot of people were working remotely, it was very important for all of us to come together and to be in touch and to check on each other. We just decided, let's go for it, let's do it. The more we're able to, form a community and all talk about, the challenges that we have, or even like just show up with like opportunities, right? Just to be like, okay, they might be looking for someone who's doing digital marketing. I'm not that person, but guess what? If there's a community that I'm involved in, that with people that are in the industry, it's easy for me to be like, here's an opportunity that's going on, and that might just benefit somebody, right? That was the whole point. And we sort of like looked around, and we knew about women in music in the States. So we did that whole thing of actually like just researching more and just finding out like how they do things, how has it benefited the members that are part of that organization, and also women that are working in the industry. And that whole model actually spoke more to us. Because one, the whole thing was not a one-man show. You literally have a committee of women that are working in the industry and giving their, voluntary time and resources to actually advance the community that's in the music industry, So we looked at that model and like, actually we can also just replicate this. We started talking more to them, and obviously, talking about our challenges in South Africa, the idea was born. We formed, and we are now part of the global network. We're part of Women in Music, the whole global network. So basically what that means is that when a person joins as a member, they basically get to be part of the global network, and it's as easy as literally like sending an email to any women in music sitting in China or Japan or Nigeria now, or New York, and just be like, ladies, I need help with A, B, C, and D, or I'm looking for an artist manager, or whatever it is that you're struggling with, or whatever is happening in your life, kind of thing. And trust you me, somebody will definitely respond, either with recommendations, or they could be the person that you eventually work with. So it's been so powerful. And besides that, there's always like events that we can attend virtually. Doesn't matter where you are sitting in the world. They are free for us as WIM members, but for anyone outside of the community, you sort of have to pay something, which sort of like helps us, in terms of, for us to have funds to do events and that sort of thing. The other way of also getting involved is that either you can be an ambassador if you have some kind of influence within the industry, so always look out for like whatever we're doing, whatever events that we're doing, and just see how you can support. Or you can actually be part of the committee, the steering committees. So we have like an events committee, we have a membership committee, and we also have development and partnerships. And communication as well. So there are various ways of getting involved. So I don't want to bore you with all the details, but if you guys are interested in joining Women in Music South Africa, can check out our Instagram page, which is Web South Africa, and there's a form that you can fill in, or you can just DM us, and we'll direct you in the right way.
Sorry, it's a real honor to be here today with you. So happy International Day to all of you, actually. And I will be.
Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing good today. My name is Sibongile Chabalala, and I am a part of the programming team over at Trace. So I'm hijacking today's presentation. It's just supposed to be these beautiful ladies, but as a scheduling team, we just thought we would share a bit about our submission process, as well as Trace as a global brand, and just give a little bit of insight about our playlists as well. Yeah, so at Trace, we are available in over 160 countries. We are a global platform, and we are available to over 350 million users. So that's through Trace, that's through Trace TV, also on our social media platforms and our digital services as well. And so our aim is always to encourage and empower everyone, especially women, to stand up and shine. And we do that through our DNA, which is hip-hop and Afro-urban culture. And we strive to show passion, authenticity, innovation, respect, diversity, and inclusion. We have about 3 channels available at Trace. So our main channel is Trace Urban, followed by Trace African and Trace Gospel. So starting with Urban, sorry, thanks for your patience. Starting with Urban, the majority of our viewers are females, and that is aged between 15 and 24. That's our number 1 rhythmic hip-hop and R&B channel, and our most popping shows are Hits US, Amapiano Please, and as well as Hit 30 and Hit 10. And then with Trace Africa, that is our channel where we are available, I guess, in the streets, you would say. So we are tracking then South Africa's pulse and Africa throughout, just to give you guys, the best African and South African music. And then that is available, obviously on channel 326, but more so also there, majority females review and 15 to 24 demographic. And then lastly, we have Trace Gospel. That is then our praise and worship channel, and for there we are number 1, I would say, at the moment in gospel. And so what we do over there is just show international and African gospel music. There it is mostly 50 plus women who view Trace Gospel, and majority female as well. Then we have what we call our submission process. So I think as independent artists and up-and-coming artists, this is something you are mostly interested in. So our submission process is mostly online. So you can go to www.trace.tv. You will find yourself a little submit button on the corner, and you'll be able to see a type form where you can enter all your information. That then comes through to us as the scheduling team, and we sit as a music committee and we go through all the videos. So the music committee is made up of schedulers as well as the supporting team, right? So the thing that we try to do most is to make sure that we are fair, regardless of views and where a person is in their career. We try our best to just be fair, check the quality, check the content, and then playlist the video if it meets our standards. And so your music video is the key to unlocking your stardom. So I would say I'm going to share just a few tips, not necessarily requirements. So when you submit, just try your best to not have any vulgar language. if you know you have some vulgar language in your video, please do try to share a clean version with us so that we are able to then add it so that the video can actually be played. Excuse me. And then we try our best to also look at content. So if you can avoid vulgar language, because I know predominantly with like hip hop especially, you run into a bit of a problem with when it comes to the language. And so also content, bottle popping, if you have any brands there, please do try to blur it out. And yeah, we also have blurring services as well, so our team does try to assist the artist in blurring out some content on it. So we have on our weekly playlists our high rotation. That is songs that play about 7 times a day. That includes what we call our starter. So this week we actually had our reviews yesterday, and our starter for this coming week is Omelay and Justin Bieber. So that's like, I think, what is going to be what we call a smash hit. So that's our starter for this week. And then next up we have our medium rotation, which is a little lower than higher, so you get about 4 plays. And then with your low rotation you get like 3 plays per day. And then between that, then we play like our new music videos, our submissions, the new videos that we get from the public. And so I do see some familiar faces here, people who have submitted the videos who have ended up on our new category. And that is basically our weekly playlist and us as Trace on the music side. I'm then going to hand over to these beautiful ladies who will tell you a bit more about our empowering side, which is academia, where we have a few courses available for independent artists. Thank you so much.
We have now Trace TV will be taking the stage, and we'd love to welcome Priscilla and Natalie. Thank you guys.
I don't know if you have any questions for Sibongile maybe. Okay. So I'm Priscilla. I'm the Chief Experience Officer at Trace. So I'm basically in charge of all the digital marketing of our platforms across the globe. So we work with teams obviously in Africa, but also in Brazil, in the UK, in France. So it's really super nice actually to be here. I'm French, so you might have noticed my accent. And my beautiful colleague Natalie here, she's South African and the head of marketing for Trace Academia. So this is very new to us. We're going to talk about empowerment, about empowering artists and female artists, which is why we're here today. And we are going to start with a short video, which is actually talking about our new empowerment mission. The fact that we want to entertain and empower our people. Sorry, my bad. You can go ahead.
They said we'd never amount to anything. They said we'd never get anywhere. They said we need to be like this and act like that. But no matter what they do and say, we stand up and shine. They try to distract and hypnotize our minds, but we tap into our own sources of knowledge and wisdom. Oh yes, we stand up. They try to separate and disconnect us with false borders and divisions, but we cannot be contained. We create our own platforms. We tell our sublime stories about our time. Best believe our power shines. We stand up because it is in our bloodlines. To live by our own design, we show the world who we are. Because no one can deny, we shine. Trace, stand up and shine.
So this is actually the suite of our empowerment platforms. We do different things at Trace, and obviously, as Sibongile talked about our TV channels. Across the world, we have more than 26 different channels, and they are localized. So we actually have Caribbean music in the Caribbean, South African music, and piano music in South Africa, and we try to actually make sure that to enhance, music, different music genres localized in each country. We also have FM radios in Kenya, Ivory Coast, in the Caribbean as well. There is a content piece. Trace has just acquired a production company, so we are now in a position to actually produce music, series, TV shows, reality TV shows. So it was called Okutle Media, and now it's part of Trace Studios. And we have obviously our Early platform that we'll speak about. The music business piece is super important. Trace Pro is a service that actually allows you guys to produce your own music video at a very actually affordable price. So we put all our resources together, production teams, to actually listen to your needs and put all these our expertise to you guys available all around the world. So we have just launched a service. It is available in South Africa, but we're rolling it out bit by bit. And then we have a streaming platform, and you probably know some of our events as well. But COVID kind of, they say change our plans, but we are definitely moving to do more. So Trace has always empowered artists. Since we actually exist, it's been 16 years now, we empowered about 32,000 artists. And we really want you to be part of them. And out of these 32,000 artists, 50% actually of our female artists are actually featured on there and broadcasted. So this is a new thing that came through. I think in South Africa we implemented it about 3 to 4 years ago. In Ivory Coast that's the case, and we really try to push as many female artists as we can. But now we want to go beyond music. We want to be sure that we can expand our mission around empowerment. So what does it mean? We are actually launching a free education platform. It's an e-learning app where people are going to be able to learn about music, but also entrepreneurship. So that could be relatable to you guys, but also electricity and lots of different things that you might never think Trace would actually, take care of. So we are going to change narrative together. And just a short film to explain what Trace Filming is.
So that's, can you hear me? Is my mic on? Yes. That's an introduction to Trace Academia. It's the most ambitious project by Trace. Really the purpose of this platform is to help tackle youth unemployment in Africa, which is currently sitting at about 60%. So what we've done is we've partnered with leading brands and institutions across the world to produce courses that we provide to youth for free on our app. So the brands provide the expertise. They're experts in their industry. For example, we've got digital marketing courses with Google. We've got an electricity course with Schneider Electric. We've got a music course with Trace. And you can earn certificates at the end of the course. The idea is to upskill youth for jobs of today and tomorrow at no cost to themselves. We try to make our learning experience really fun and playful, very engaging, very immersive. So it's video driven, lots of fun quizzes, tests, like drag and drop and fill in the blank, and so that it's more fun to test your knowledge after you've learned a specific topic. And then for some certificates, some of our partners have come forward with opportunities for the top learners of those certificate courses. For example, at Trace, with the course that we sponsored, or the music side of the business sponsored,
we'll be giving young artists an opportunity to have, well, young DJs, an opportunity to have their set featured on our channels and our radios. Schneider Electric is offering a bursary to their students. So the idea is really not only to teach the skills and give the tools, but also try to provide some opportunities for young people to get into the work market or gig economy. So these are some of the partners that we have so far, and we're signing more all the time. We can go on to the next one. In terms of courses for artists, we've created 2 so far, and at the end we'd really be interested to hear what kind of courses you'd like to see, what kind of opportunities you'd like to have from the courses. So this is the first one, sponsored by Trace. It's the DJ course. So we're just going to play the trailer for you.
Do you love music? Do you have a passion for performing? Have you ever dreamt of becoming a professional DJ? If so, join me on the step-by-step guide of how to monetize this beautiful craft in this entertainment industry, right here on Trace Academia.
So really this course is to help aspiring DJs to make their DJing dream come true. It teaches you the basics of like DJing history, teaches you about the beat, the equipment you'll need, how to master, some techniques to personalize your mix, and most importantly, how to monetize your art. So how do you make money from your music? So we give you entrepreneurial tips that are specific to the music industry. We can move on. The next course is how to make money with your music. We partnered with SACEM on this, and it's really a lot about like your content rights, how to license your music, and just more on the money side of the music business. So we know that sometimes it can be a very complicated business to get into, and that lots of young artists are taken advantage of, especially when it comes to their rights and royalties. And so that's the purpose of this course. Some other courses that may be relevant for the audience today is get started with digital marketing so that you can have a presence online, you know how to market yourself, your services, get yourself more gigs. Also master ads and analytics. It's like step 2, so a little bit more technical around all the different digital platforms and how to place ads there, how to bid. Then we also have Become a Successful Entrepreneur. This is the introduction entrepreneurial course. So it teaches you the basics of how to be an entrepreneur if you want to work for yourself, if you're an independent artist. And then mastering business skills, it gets a little bit more technical, a little bit more on the finance side. So you dive deeper into the business.
How did they get inspired? How did they actually get to the point where now they're famous and they have all the channels and they don't have these issues anymore? So it would be great to understand like what are the challenges that you're facing? What do you feel like you need to deep dive on, I don't know, on Google to find the information and to get, to the right people to get that type of information, because we want to make it available to everyone, really. That's really our purpose. And yeah, so linked to courses and certificates, and also Natalie spoke about the opportunities. At Trace, we are in a position where we can give you extra exposure. We can make, take your music video and put it on our channels across the world, and for free, because we're not taking money to do that. But at the end of the day, would you actually be more interested in meeting with, I don't know, Davido, or AKA to know, how did they make it happen? Maybe we can organize that. So these are the type of opportunities that we can create for you as female artists, but not only. So here is more of a, again, opening the floor. We can leave our details, you can contact us. We would also like to do lots of different interviews of you guys, asking the right question, putting these on the app available to people, and it's extra visibility for you. It's just, teaching more and more kind of music skills to people, and I think it would be really great to hear what you have to say.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. I'm very grateful to be here. It's my first time in South Africa. Second day in Joburg, and I'm super exciting. Let's see. So I'm Maike Nolte, I'm from Berlin. I am head of artist services for Beatport. Who knows what Beatport is? You can scream, you can raise your hand. Okay, the Europeans don't count. Okay, so Beatport is a DSP, that's a digital service provider. We're a platform where we sell music, mainly electronic music. We also have a streaming service. We're a little bit like iTunes, but just for electronic music, and it's a little bit B2B, you can almost say, because our customers are mainly DJs, bedroom DJs, wannabe DJs. Currently, if you are a DJ, you still need a USB stick, so you need downloadable files, and these you get on Beatport. We're a global company. We've been around since 2004. We were started in Denver. We have offices in Denver, in Berlin, in LA. We just opened one in London, and yeah, we're finally exploring also the South African market, or the African market in general. To give you a little bit of an idea of how big Beatport is, we are the biggest electronic music platform in the world. We are bigger than DJ Mag, Mix Mag, RA combined. We have around 12 million songs on the platform. Each week we get 20,000 tracks uploaded, 10,000 releases. We have about 1 million artists on the platform. About 600 of them are active. We have 90,000 labels. Some pretty impressive numbers. I think we have about 500,000 customers, so all DJs that buy music that they play out in the clubs or at home, or they use it for a radio show, for a stream, and 43,000 million unique visitors to the site. So for example, for emerging markets, or for us, emerging markets like Africa, South America, we see a lot of traffic on our sites. We see they're coming to the store, they're obviously listening to the music, but they're not buying because the price point is too high currently. One track sells about €1.30, so that's over 20 rand, 25 rand. So that's probably a lot of money for locals and young up-and-coming artists. But it's a platform that's important to be on, to have. If you're a producer, how many producers are here? Yeah, a couple. Some electronic music producers. Yeah, a few. So it's important to be on platforms like Beatport. Even if you think, what does that have to do with me, with my market? We're not downloading anything. We're getting our stuff from Fakaz, I've heard. It's still important to have a presence, an active presence, on not only in Beatport but on other DSPs as well, because the international market does look at these platforms. It's important. I think Ralph already mentioned it. We look at what are the plays on Spotify, and the same goes for Beatport. If you want to be an internationally booked DJ, like Desiree, for example, she should have a profile on the store, have an artist image, a biography, hopefully do some charts regularly, so that bookers, artist managers, they come to our platform and check out basically what's trending and what is selling. So it's really important that you get active on these platforms, even if you think they might not yet be relevant for you, or the royalties that you're receiving are still very slim. But this is very important for you to grow. To give you a little bit of more ideas, we have about 36 different kind of genres in electronic music. So it's not just dance. All like the big companies like Spotify and Apple, they just have one electronic music genre. So we're really diversified. We always try to find relevant sound that sounds similar. We really try to find emerging artists and also showcase them. Diversity is a gigantic topic for us currently because, I mean, I think, heard about it a lot today. It's a very male-dominant industry, the music industry, especially from the past. If you've been in the business for a long time, you mainly had to deal with men, at least in the exact positions. There's always been a lot of bookers, a lot of people behind the scenes, a lot of PAs, a lot of publicists that are female, that are doing an incredible job, but there's also been a lot of female talent that's been overlooked. And I finally see that there's a lot of more female talent coming out because we finally have role models like Black Coffee, like Desiree, that trying to push, diversity, not only in sense of gender, but also, skin color, ethnicity, and sound. One of the genres that we're about to launch is actually Amapiano. So this is super exciting for us. Not on this project yet. You can find it as a subgenre, but it's not a standalone genre. So we have Afro House. And what we see in Afro House is the people that are doing well in the store are a lot of European artists that produce and play this kind of sound, and artists from South Africa like Floyd Levine, for example, who's got his own label, Africa Tales, that know how to work with these kind of DSPs. So that's also important because you want your music out there, you want to be found, and you want other DJs to basically play your music. And if you're not on these platforms, they can't play your music. Because in Europe or in America, a lot of artists get promos, sure, but a lot of people, even if they're very famous and make a lot of money, they still come to Beatport to actually really buy music and download it. And it's important for the entire scene, for the entire community, because, especially like when you have something happening like Corona, you see like you can't gig as much anymore, so you're losing a lot of your revenue. It's important to have different kind of revenue streams, but also to be visible to other artists out there. And a lot of people shop on Beatport. We have different kind of charts. We have a global chart. We have charts per genre. So we will have an Amapiano chart as soon as we launch. But on Afro House, you can see that there is a lot of European talent that's currently doing very well in the store. And this is something, it happens, and we would like for this to change with Amapiano. Obviously, that there is local talent that we can push, that we can showcase, that people can buy the music, and that it's not going to be taken over again by companies or artists that know how the game basically is played. They support also local artists, but if you can't buy the music, it's very limited what you can do. So I would like to see that, that we can really push talent from Africa and get them heard. So spread the word that we're launching Amapiano. It's super exciting, and it's important that artists also can create their own charts on Beatport. So it's a little bit like a playlist on Spotify. You can, because a lot of people dig music like that, they go to artists that they find inspiring and then see what kind of music these artists are playing, and they can go to that artist profile, see what else they have been putting out. You can go to the label and see what those labels are releasing, and literally just go down the rabbit hole, like Desiree was mentioning a little bit. You can find a lot of music on the store. And we just want to showcase all sorts of kind of talent. And it's super exciting that now I feel there is a little bit of a shift with more role models out there, that a lot of female artists are also now producers. And this has to do obviously with the democratization of the market, that you don't need to have like a full-on studio anymore where you need to spend thousands of euros or dollars on getting equipment before you can even get started. You can download some free DAWs, you can have Fruity Loops, Logic, Ableton to produce. There's also a lot of sample packs that you can download and get started. And also it's much easier basically to distribute your music. So we're working very closely with somebody like Paradise, but obviously also with local other kind of companies like now I can't remember the name. Africore, yes, sorry, that should not have happened. But yeah, so it's super exciting. And yeah, so talk to people who have a label, if you can release on the label. Talk to the distributor if they have basically their own label that you can release on. Make sure your music gets out there. Make sure you get paid for your music. I think that was like also a big topic that we've heard today. It's super important, you know. Get the knowledge that you need, especially at the beginning. Also, what we spoke about earlier about like a 360 deal. That's not for everybody. You need to do your due diligence, do a lot of research, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. Have a look at basically what do artists do that inspire you, like how have they made it, what was basically their kind of way to grow. Is this something I can lean in on, that I can grab some knowledge to basically do it myself. But then also what Desi said, don't compromise, so be authentic. I think that's one really, really important kind of topic. Don't copy everything somebody's doing, be inspired by it, but make sure you keep your individuality, that you keep your own kind of creativity on all platforms. Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a background of what Beatport is, what we do. We have also Beatport, which is basically an editorial site where we cover artists, topics, we do interviews. We're really big on all social platforms, so we have different kind of feature formats. We try to have different kind of formats for all sizes of artists. So have a look on our Insta channel, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on TikTok. TikTok's really growing. That's also like a super great creative way, you know, to get yourself out there with your own music or without of your own music. Yeah, what else do we have? We just recently acquired Loop Masters, Loop Cloud and Plugin Boutique, which are based in Brighton. They're companies that do sample packs, so that's super fun. They load straight into your DAWs, so you can really experiment on yeah, what kind of sounds do I want to make. You know, you can easily create tracks on your own, but also as an artist, you could actually create sample packs yourself that can be distributed in these kind of platforms. So again, this is another kind of revenue stream that's super important for an artist to grow, or also like, again, like with Corona, where you can't gig, where you can't make money like that, that you have other kind of revenue, yeah, when gigging doesn't work at some point. We also just acquired Amp Suite, which is a distributor actually, which will allow us to have some cutting edge technology to really also further develop our backend. We've been around for a long time, since 2004. I think we launched before iTunes, if I remember correctly, so that is quite an achievement. And of course, we all know downloads are probably a format that's has a limited life in front of it, you know. A little bit unsexy, they're a little bit clunky to use sometimes. You know, need to go somewhere, download them, rename, put in your software or put on a USB stick to use. So we do see a trend that even DJs will go into streaming. So we have launched a product called Beatport Link, which is our streaming platform, and it works in separate ways. On one, like, you can actually just consume music, you can listen to it, to tracks in full. Every time you listen to a track longer than 30 seconds and you have a paying subscription, you generate royalty. That's really great. We have a very high royalty payout, so we pay much more than many of the other DSPs, like YouTube, especially Spotify, Apple, so our payout is high. Another reason why you and your music should be on Beatport, for sure. Also, like with Link, we see currently that 80% of our customers are new customers, so those are customers that haven't previously bought a download on the store. So this is the new generation basically coming up, because they've been growing up with Netflix, with Spotify. They don't want to have a download, you know, they don't want to have a hard drive. They want instant access, they want easy usability, and now we're trying to give them that with this streaming service. We have different kind of integrations, so you can actually use it for DJing. So we have integrations with smaller kind of brands that do controllers, but also with the big brands, with Serato, for example, with Traktor. We have a really cool integration with the new Denon setup, the new Prime series, where it's literally, you have like the Denon CDJs. They have a huge touch screen, almost like an iPad. They have Wi-Fi compatibility. You log in with your Beatport account. If you have an Access subscription, you have access to the entire catalog, so nearly 12 million tracks. And you can stream straight from that. You can have different kind of playlists for different kind of moods, for example, or if you're playing an opening set, or if you're playing peak time, if you're playing an after hour, if you're playing an Ibiza, usually you should always make sure that you set, is a little bit reference to where you're playing and how the crowd is. So you can do that all in this kind of DJ integration that we have. We also just currently launched an app, so both on Apple and on Android, where you can finally listen to tracks on your mobile. Before, Beatport was very, very, very desktop heavy. So we're really trying to put a lot of effort into the tech side of the business, to really also get more kind of analytical tools, because it's really, really important, obviously, if you're releasing on the store, on any DSP, basically your data, that you get to know your data, which means where are your targets, where is your territory, where is your fan base sitting. This is all super relevant kind of information, especially for your touring kind of business, so that you know, well, wow, in Paris, obviously they really love my music, maybe I should talk to my booking agent and see if I can play a gig in Paris. That's a lot of stuff on Beatport. Do you guys have any kind of questions? Sure.
For the Serato part of it. I use Serato, right? And I don't think
you use Serato?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was about to ask if you incorporated within the software like Tidal and iTunes.
Yeah, so Serato has an integration with Tidal as well, and they do have a really sweet integration actually with Beatport. So you have, when you stream with Link, basically you either need like a Wi-Fi connection, so you need to make sure that there's Wi-Fi in the venue. You can sometimes do it over your hotspot, we've done that, it works quite well if you have a good phone provider. But we also offer an offline functionality. So if you know that you're going to be in a club, and that's why it's so cool with Serato, because you have a laptop with you anyways, you can basically log into your account on in Serato itself. There is a Beatport and a BeatSource login. You of course need to have an active Link subscription that you have to pay for. And then you basically, I call it, you have a hard drive or a USB stick with 10 million tracks on it. You can literally just play the entire catalog. So no more excuses. If somebody requests a track, you can't go anymore. Sorry, I don't have that. So try it out. There should be a button. I currently don't see the interface in front of me where it is, but it should be probably right under Tidal, to be honest.
Yeah, but Tidal, iTunes.
Should be there. I can check on my computer. I have Serato on my computer, so if it works, I can show you. Yeah. Pioneer, unfortunately, they're a little late to the game. They're market leaders, so they don't really, have to be as innovative as some of the smaller competitors. So there, you would need to bring Rekordbox on a laptop. So for a clubbing situation, that's not so much fun. If you're a corporate DJ, for example, if you're a mobile DJ, we call them, You know, if you do a lot of events that are not actually in a club, and you bring a computer, it's actually quite cool. You can just hook up, you know, a little Pioneer controller and play via Rekordbox, or you can use Rekordbox if you want to audition tracks. You know, if you want to check out does that track work in my set, you know, or I don't want to just listen to the 2-minute preview that's on our store. I don't even hear if the drop is there or how the track continues. You can basically plan your playlist and your performance in Rekordbox. There was a question over here?
Yes, sorry. On the production side, I don't know if I understood or heard you correctly. Beatport has sample packs.
Beatport, not in itself, but Loop Masters and Loop Cloud, and they're part of the Beatport group now. So Loop Masters is the mother company. It's like Splice.
Yes.
So we have different kind of packages, either artist packages, label packages, collections, and also very specifically for certain genres and sounds. So as an artist, you're also quite flexible of what kind of sample pack you can do. You know, there's not just one pack that we offer to all artists. There's certain different kind of levels. And the Loop Cloud is basically the subscription tier of Loop Masters, where you have where you pay a monthly fee, and then you have you can have a quota of basically of sample packs that you can use per month.
Okay, no, so I already use Loop Masters. I just wanted to know if I had to go on to Beatport, because on Track Source they'll have, like, let's say Marathon, I don't know how to say it, Marathon is in the house, sample packs. So I was just wondering if Beatport had, like...
We used to.
Okay.
We used to have our own sample pack page, Beatport Sounds. But we discontinued that when we basically, or we merged it together with Loop Masters. What we will be doing in the near future is we will be promoting also some sample packs on Beatport. So we will have 12 sample packs a year where we work with some really renowned producers that are also then going to get highlighted on Beatport. Yeah, that's going to be a specific series.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Don't be shy. You can also ask me anything. It doesn't have to be Beatport related.
So I could make my own sample packs.
You need to be connected to our team, yes, and they will walk you through how it goes. It's not like we don't work so much with DIY. There's a little bit of a historic kind of thing, both on Loop Masters and on Beatport. So in electronic music, the label is still really, really important, you know. For pop music, not so much. Doesn't matter if you're on Universal, Sony, or Warner. You know, the fan doesn't go and buy music because it's on Warner. On electronic music, it's a little different. Like a label is like a quality seal. You know, it's like a stamp of approval. Desiree was mentioning Innovisions, for example. If you have a release out on Innovisions, you know, it's like you've not made it, but you're really relevant, you know? It's the same thing with Afterlife. So there's a lot of labels like that. So that those are obviously gatekeepers, you know? But they also, they verify the kind of stuff. And I mean, and then the label needs to have a supplier. So we do a little bit of direct deals that, like, we work directly with labels, but those are really, really big labels like Innovisions, like Afterlife. But even I think Afterlife comes through a supplier, like Paradise, for example, or like Believe, or like Ingrooves. So they have a whole bunch of labels that they work with, and they communicate basically with Beatport to discuss what are the priorities, what music is coming out, how are they going to get featured on the store. So so with DIY, basically you're missing that gatekeeper. You're missing like that one step of approval of quality. Doesn't mean that your music that you're producing is quality, but there is a lot of music out there that's not ready yet to be released, and people put it out on DIY platforms. And what we see, because we're so specialized on electronic music, is that also a lot of artists, and this is like a little bit of advice that I would give, they think the bigger the better, right? So I'm just going to deliver my music to all platforms because I might miss out on something. Generally speaking, if you're an artist that makes commercial kind of sound, that speaks to a really, really big audience, that makes sense. But if you're a country music producer, for example, or a singer-songwriter, and you deliver your content to Beatport, it's not relevant. Nobody's going to buy it, So you're just taking up space in the internet, on servers, which costs money, not only to the company, but also, obviously, it's taking up resources of this planet. So, yeah, that's how it is. People think, people live in the cloud. Stuff doesn't live on a cloud. Those are server farms that are situated in the desert underground. And, yeah, so I advise be a little bit mindful, do a little bit of research. What is your audience? Does it make sense? And yeah. Any other questions? Don't be shy. I'm gone tomorrow, so.
How do you like the food?
The food? Here I haven't had so much time in Jozi, but Cape Town food. I spent 3 weeks in Cape Town. I apologize, only 3 days in Jozi. Was amazing. It's lovely. It's so exciting to be here. I can't even say it. It's so cool. Such a melting pot. It's so inspiring. It's so different in Europe. So I'm really happy to be here. And not only the food is very great, the people are also really lovely. Everybody's super nice and friendly. Always have a chat, and yeah, I love it. So I need to come back.
Where are you based in Europe?
Pardon? I'm based in Berlin.
Oh, in Berlin.
Yeah, so one of the main offices is based in Berlin.
Cool.
So that's basically where our marketing team sits, our curation team, most of our label team. But we really also with Corona, one of the positive things, there were a few positive things that came out of Corona, is obviously remote working. Otherwise, I also wouldn't be here. I would have to sit in an office. So we also have now a lot of people that are working remotely, that are contractors that worked for us before. That was also, if you're not based in Berlin, you're not going to get the job, no matter how good you are. And that's changing, and that's also a very positive thing, I think. Anything else? Yes.
I just want to know, so in terms of your loops, has there been any copyright issues, maybe another artist?
So that's also why it's important to do due diligence, and why, you can't just DIY a lot of the things, because it is important that those samples are your samples that you're using, that you've recorded, that you're not using other people's music. So of course it happens, that people then all of a sudden say, wow, but I made that, So we have different kind of ways to make a copyright claim. So if somebody has used your music or your loop, for example, and uploaded to sell it, you can have that taken down, And it's the same thing with music, on the store. Obviously, we can't check every track. Are all the samples legit? Is everything correct? So, so this is also a little bit of a problem for Amapiano, for example, that people are being creative. They're sharing, they're collaborating, and then at the end, nobody really knows anymore. Where is that snare from? Where's the bass line? What are the vocals from? Am I even allowed to use that? And this is a topic that's super important. If you're an artist, if you're a producer, if you're a content creator, you want to get paid for your music. So there needs to be an understanding. It's all cool, collaboration, sharing, WhatsApp groups. Nobody's downloading music. But if you want to live off of your music, there needs to be value and a price point put to that music, So that's important to understand. Not everything you should be doing for promotion, Not everything is good just because, it's giving you exposure. There needs to be a point in your career where you have to say, No, I want to get paid for this. No, you're not getting this for free, you know? And that's super important. And we see here, for example, like a lot of people are doing illegal downloads and sharing music. And the